Okay, guys, we are going to skip 5 and 6, so you do not have to do those. Like I said, there's a lot of problems on here, and I don't want us to spend all day doing these. I know you got other classes. So let's go ahead and look at 7 and 8, okay? So these word problems, they're set up a little bit differently. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, okay? Um, so let's read through it. So the cost of 3 boxes of envelopes and 4 boxes of notebook paper is $13.25. 2 boxes of envelopes and 6 boxes of notebook paper cost $17. Find the cost of each. Okay, so the first thing we need to define our variables. And most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, you're going to be able to look at that last sentence and it's going to be telling you exactly what they want. They want you to find the cost of each. Well, what are they talking about? We've got boxes of envelopes and we have boxes of notebooks. Okay, so I'm going to let X equal the cost of a box of envelopes, right? So it's the cost. So it's going to be money, right? We're going to find out how much it costs. And then let's let Y equal the cost of a box of notebook paper. Notebook. We'll just put notebooks. And we'll do and remind ourselves this is money that we're looking for. Okay, step 1 done. We defined our variables. Now it's time to, we need to find 2 different clues in here. That's going to allow me to create 2 different equations. So I'm looking and I see 1 clue here. The cost of 3 boxes of envelopes and 4 boxes of notebook paper is $13.25. Okay, and then I also see another clue that 2 boxes of envelopes and 6 boxes of notebook paper cost $17. So when you think about creating something, like if I said you bought 7 lemonades and it costs you $14, let's just do a really simple cost equation. If you bought 7 lemonades and it cost you $14, how much money did each lemonade cost? Well, you bought 7 lemonades, okay? And if you multiply that by the time by how much it costs, let's say the cost is X, right? You have to pay $14. So when we're talking about finding the total cost, what you can do is if you know how many you bought 7 of them, you multiply them by the cost, you'll get your total payment, right? Your total payment of $14. So that's what we're going to do here. I don't know how much my envelopes cost, but I named that X. So if I bought 3 boxes, I know that that cost me 3 times whatever the cost was, 3X. And then I also bought, okay, I'm going to combine that, 4 boxes of notebook paper. Now, I don't know how much the notebook paper costs. That's what I'm looking for, but I gave it a name, and that name was Y. Okay, and then so how much did 3 boxes of envelopes and 4 boxes of notebook paper cost you? Well, it cost you a total of $13.25. Okay, so sometimes when you don't understand how to set up an equation, maybe making a really basic application problem might help you. Okay, um, that's always a really good tip. Like change it into really small, easy numbers. Okay, okay, let's do the next one. So it's going to be very similar. This time you had 2 boxes. All right, they spelt the word two this time. That's because it was the first word in the sentence. That's standard. So this time you have 2 boxes of envelopes and 6 boxes of notebook paper, and that cost you $17. Okay. All right. So we have our system. Now it's time to solve. We could use substitution or elimination. Now, I don't recommend substitution here because, first of all, neither one of my variables is solved for. Okay. And then on top of that, even the coefficients are bigger than 1. Like here, if I tried to solve for the x, I'd have to move the 4y over and divide everything by 3. I don't know about you, but I don't want to divide $13.25 divided by 3. Okay. It's going to leave me a messy fraction or a messy number, or we just have a fraction. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do elimination. All right. But I do notice that none of my variables are, none of my coefficients are common. So I'm going to have to multiply. Okay. So I'm going to choose to eliminate my x's just because they're a little bit smaller of coefficients. Okay. So I can't turn 2 into 3 by multiplying, right? 2 times nothing is going to give me 3. So what I have to do is multiply both equations. Okay. I'm going to multiply this equation by the 2, and I'm going to multiply this equation by the 3. Okay, this way, whenever I work through these, I'll have common coefficients. Now, I always like to be able to add my equations together. So I like to make one of them, make sure one of them is going to be negative. So I'll go ahead and do that now. So let's rewrite. You might need your calculators. Okay, so I've got negative 6x minus 8y. Remember, this is the easiest part to make a mistake. 1325 times 2, negative 2 is going to give me a negative 2650. And then 3 times 2 is 6x. Oh, there's my common coefficients. Good, that's what I was going for. Plus 18y equals 17. Okay, now I can add these together and the x's will go away. So I have 10y equals, what is this going to be? Negative 20. Now, I'm a little weary here that something may have gone wrong. And why? Let's see, because this will be a negative 1950, or 950, sorry, a negative 950. But if you look, that's going to make my y a negative number. And we can't have y being a negative number because we're talking about money. All right, who caught my mistake? I forgot to multiply 3 times 17. I'm telling you, it is where you're going to find most of your mistakes right there. 3 times 17, well, 3 times 10 gives you 30. 3 times 7 gives you 21, so that's 51. Okay. All right, that looks much better. Okay, so I've got 2450. Okay, so that is looking much, much better. So now we can solve for y. I'm going to divide by 10, and I'll end up getting y equals, all I'll have to do since I'm dividing by 10 is move that decimal over, $2.45. Okay, awesome. So y equals $2.45. So how do I find my x? Well, I'll just plug it back into either one of your equations. So I'll have 2x plus 6. Instead of y, I'm going to write $2.45 equals 17. Okay, 2x plus, okay, let's see, that's going to be 1470 equals 17. Okay, it might help to have a calculator, especially with these. So I'm going to subtract 1470 from both sides, subtract 1470. Okay, so I'll have 2x equals, let's see, if that was going to be 15, that'd be 230. And then I divide by 2, x equals $1.15. Okay, so the cost of the envelopes are $1.15. Okay. All right, so I am going to leave number 8 for you to do. Okay, so you do number 8. Let's go ahead and clear these away. and I'm going to work out number 9. Okay, so let's go ahead and read through the question first. Gabby and Sydney bought some pens and pencils. Gabby bought 4 pens and 5 pencils for $6.71. Sydney bought 5 pens and 3 pencils for $7.12. Find the cost of each. Remember, if you are looking to define your variables, a good place to start looking would be that last sentence. I need to find the cost of pens and pencils. So we're going to say X is the cost of pens and Y is the cost of pencils. So these are the things I don't know yet. Whenever you're trying to decide what do you define your variables, it's the things you don't know, okay? Now, if Gabby bought 4 pens, okay, how much would that cost her? Well, 4 times the cost of your pens. Well, I don't know the cost of my pens. I named it X, okay? And then she bought 5 pencils. How much did that cost her? Well, you have to take 5 times the cost of a pencil, but I don't know what the pencil's cost is, so I write 5Y. And then her total bill was $6.71. While Sydney bought 5 pens and 3 pencils, and her total bill was $7.12. So I need to find out how much each one of these costs, okay? And I can do that by using our methods with our systems of linear equations, okay? So once again, I'm going to use the elimination method, okay? Usually substitution will work well if one of your variables is already solved for, or if it's really close, like if the coefficient is 1. Here we don't have that. So I'm going to choose to eliminate the y's this time, only because it's a little bit smaller, I think, the numbers. So I can't turn 3 into 5. So I know I'm going to have to multiply both of my equations. So I put the 3 up here. So I switch them around. I put the 5 down there. Since I know I want to make one of these negative, I'm going to go ahead and throw that up there so that I can add. Okay. So negative 3 times 4 is negative 12y minus 50. Oh, see, there's that mistake again. Always happening on that step. Negative 15y equals, let's see, 3 times $6.71. Okay, and that's going to give me $20.13. Okay, get those calculators out, guys, because you don't need to spend all day multiplying decimals. Okay, 5 times 5 is 25x plus 15y. Oh, there's my matching coefficients that are going to go away. Good. Equals $35 and I think 60 cents I had. I think that was right. Let me double check. Yes. Okay. You guys caught me. I am using a calculator too. Okay. I'm not trying to take forever multiplying, doing long multiplication problems. Okay. So now we can, let's make sure I didn't make any mistakes. I do see 1. This was supposed to be a negative, right? Because negatives all the way through. Okay. So those go away. I'm left with 13x equals 1547. Okay. And then all I'll have to do to solve for x now is divide by 13. Okay. And what are we going to get in the end? X equals $1.19. Okay. So the cost of a pen is $1.19. So now let's plug our x back into one of our original equations. So I have 4, instead of x, I'll write $1.19 plus 5y equals $6.71. So this is going to give me $4.76 plus 5y equals $6.71. I'm going to subtract $4.76 from both sides. Okay. And I'll end left with 5y equals, let's see. So that's 6, 1, that'll be 5, 9, 1, $1.95 for 5 of them. I divide it by 5 and I get y equals, let's see, it's going to go in there, 3 point. Okay, so not 3 point, it's going to be 0.3, sorry. 0.3, so 0.3 since we're talking money, 9, so 39 cents. So like I said, calculators are gonna help you out here, okay? Or else you're gonna be doing these all day long. So just pull out your one on your phone, your basic one will help you. Okay, so I'm going to leave number 10 for you. Okay, so you do number 10 and then we're not gonna do number 11. So I'll work out a couple more on the next one.